Let's make some cute lucky pouches today. It's called 유부주머니 in Korean. They are versatile. You can eat them as a side dish with rice or put them in soups and stews and eat them like dumplings. They also freeze really well, so you can make a batch and keep them frozen, then cook them right from the freezer. And they're super cute. For lucky pouches, I'm using the Yubu tofu skin like dumpling skin for this dish. There are different types of tofu skins. Some come seasoned in cans, some are in triangles, some are puffier with not much room inside. And this is the type you want, a wide rectangular shape. And you'll find this at the freezer or refrigerator section in Asian markets. There is no opening, so you have to cut it in half, and you'll find an empty space inside. Next, I need to soak the glass noodles. I'm using dried glass noodles made with sweet potato starch, which is the most common type of glass noodles for Korean cooking. I like using a rectangular pan to soak the glass noodles so that I don't have to try to bend them when they're dry. You can pour some water to soak the glass noodles and spread them around so that all the noodle strands are touching water. We'll soak them for about half an hour, just until you can bend them easily. So you can check after half an hour, and you can lift them up and test how soft they are. Then we'll set this aside. We're now working through the rest of the filling ingredients. I got a bunch of ssukgat, also known as crown daisy or edible chrysanthemum. It has a mild mustardy flavor and it works just like spinach. You can get them in Asian markets, but if you can't get this, you can use spinach instead. For ssukgat, just remove the thick center stem and you can use everything else. It wilts and softens quickly once you start cooking with them. Next one is garlic chives. They look like giant chives and have a pretty strong garlicky flavor. You can also find them in Asian markets. If you can't get this, you can get regular chives. Now we're going to blanch some ingredients. Bring a pot of water to a boil and go in the order as I am doing here. First into the water is garlic chives with the stem side down first because that's the thicker part. You're basically dipping them for a few seconds to wilt them and take them out. Next one is crown daisy or edible chrysanthemum. Same deal, swish them around for a few seconds until they're wilted. Next, it's more than just quick blanching. The glass noodles actually need to cook and soften. Leave them in the boiling water for a few minutes. In the meantime, rinse the garlic chives and crown daisy in cold water to chill completely. After about 5 minutes, you'll see that the noodles have turned soft and translucent, and that's when you can take them out. Last one is the fried tofu skin. They'll naturally float to the top, so keep pushing them in. And this step is mainly to get rid of the excess oil from the tofu skin. Take them out after a couple of minutes. So when you use the same pot of water for one dish, start with a quick cooking vegetable that won't leave much color or any residue. Then work your way through the ingredients that leave the water basically unusable for other ingredients. And make sure to rinse the glass noodles and tofu skins in cold water. Squeeze the tofu skins to remove excess water. And now let's mix the filling. Cut the long glass noodles into small pieces. You can cut them with a knife or use kitchen scissors like I'm doing here. The glass noodles tend to stick together, so I find using the scissors easier to work with. Once they're seasoned with soy sauce, sesame oil, then a sprinkle of salt, mix the noodles with the carrot and crown daisy cut into small pieces. I forgot to record the part where I cut and mix the vegetables, but I'm hoping that you can make that happen. Now let's set up everything to make the lucky pouches. Have a bowl with mixed fillings ready with a spoon that fits into the tofu skin pockets. Fill all the pockets about halfway full. This is a simple version of the Lucky Pouches recipe in my cookbook, Korean Vegetarian Cooking. I made a simple filling here, basically using the vegetables I have. Feel free to follow the recipe or use your favorite dumpling filling for this dish. If you use raw meat for the filling, just remember to cook the pouches thoroughly. If you have any leftover filling, you can go back and fill the pockets a little more before you tie them with garlic chives. Then you can use the long garlic chives to tie the pockets. If you have regular chives, use 2 to 3 strands together to make it a sturdier tie. This may be the most tedious, time-consuming part of this dish. The Korean name of this dish is Yubuju머니. Yubu refers to the fried tofu skin, and 주머니 means pocket or pouch, and it looks like 복주머니, the ornamental pouches worn with traditional costumes hanbok on major holidays. So I've named them lucky pouches. And you can cut the remaining long strands with scissors. For this dish, we are going to add the gochujang glaze. So I start with shiitake mushroom soaked water, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan, or you can use water. Then add soy sauce, gochugaru Korean red pepper flakes, gochujang the red pepper paste, Korean rice syrup called jocheong, or you can substitute with honey or other sweeteners. Mix them together and bring this to a boil. Place the pouches on the pan standing up because I want the sauce only on the bottom of the pouches. I'm only cooking 4 pouches here and saving the rest in the freezer for another time. If you're cooking more pouches, when you place them on the pan, be mindful that the liquid will rise more. When the sauce has been reduced and the pouches are thoroughly heated inside, it's ready. Cover the plate with the glaze, then transfer the pouches to the plate so that you can see the pretty red sauce on the bottom of the pouches. Thank you for watching. See you next time.